Hello, everyone. Welcome to Perspective Peak. I am Leo.
And I am Mia. Welcome back, Peak Performers. Here at Perspective Peak, our goal is simple to help you build winning habits, master your productivity, and level up your English listening skills all at the same time.
You know, Mia, before we even begin today, I have to be honest with everyone. This topic hit me right in the heart
Really? Why is that, Leo? You sound very serious all of a sudden.
because today we are talking about something that completely humbled me. We are diving into the psychology of real-world listening, the kind of listening you need when you are traveling, when you are lost, and when everything around you is loud, fast, and confusing.
Oh, this is going to be so good. And listeners, please do not worry. We are keeping the English at a friendly, comfortable level. Clear sentences, simple ideas. But we will sprinkle in some powerful new words too. So you are growing your vocabulary while you relax and listen. That is the Perspective Peak promise.
Exactly. And here's the truth that researchers have found. The way we practice listening in a quiet classroom is almost nothing like the way people actually speak in the real world.
Wait, really? You mean my perfect, slow, beautiful audio lessons are lying to me?
Not lying exactly, but they are like training for a marathon by walking on a flat, smooth road. The real race has hills, wind, mud, and a crowd shouting in your ears. Today, we're getting our running shoes dirty.
I love that. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, maybe make a cup of tea, and let's climb to the peak together. Leo, take us into the storm. But actually, wait, before your story, let me ask the big question. When you say real world listening, what does that really mean? Break it down for me.
Great question. So, in a textbook, the speaker talks slowly. Every word is clean and clear. There is no background noise. It's like listening to a single perfect piano note in a silent room.
I can picture that. It sounds lovely.
It is lovely, but real listening, survival listening, is like trying to hear that same piano note while standing in the middle of a busy market. People are shouting, machines are buzzing, and the speaker is talking twice as fast. Your brain has to do two hard jobs at once: filter out the noise and understand the actual words.
Ooh, so it is not just about knowing the words, it is about finding the words inside the chaos.
Exactly. And that skill, finding the signal inside the noise, is called active listening. It means you're not just hearing sounds in a passive, lazy way. You are working, predicting, and focusing on purpose. And the beautiful thing is, this same skill makes you better at studying, better at your job, and even better in your relationships.
Okay, I am completely hooked. Tell me about the train. I know there's a train story.
There's always a train story. All right, picture this. 2 years ago, I was traveling alone through a huge city I had never visited. It was about 9:40 at night, cold, rainy, and I was standing on platform number 7, holding a ticket for the very last train home.
The last one? Oh, no pressure at all, right?
None whatsoever. So a voice comes over the loudspeaker. Now, in my textbook, an announcement sounds like this: the train to the city center will depart from platform 7. Slow, clear, easy. But what I actually heard was something like, to train to center, depart in platform 9, all squished together, echoing off the cold walls, mixed with a crying baby and two men laughing loudly right behind me.
Oh no, platform 9? Not platform 7.
Platform 9. But my poor brain only caught one single clear word: center. That was my destination, so I relaxed completely. I thought, great, I'm in exactly the right place. And then I watched my train, over on platform 9, slowly pull away into the dark, while I stood frozen on platform 7, in the rain with my mouth wide open.
Oh, Leo, that is heartbreaking. What did you do?
I slept in a very ugly, very hard station chair for 6 hours. But here's the science part, and this is what truly fascinates me. When we feel panic or high stress, our body releases a chemical called adrenaline. Think of adrenaline like a screaming fire alarm inside your brain. When that alarm is going off, your brain pulls energy away from thinking tasks like understanding a foreign language and sends all of it to survival tasks, like your racing heart and your shaking hands.
So, the more stressed and panicked you are?
The worse your listening becomes. And scientists describe a big part of this using a term called cognitive load. Imagine your brain as a small desk. On a calm day, you have lots of empty space to spread out your work. But stress, noise, and fear pile heavy boxes onto that little desk. Suddenly, there was no room left to do the actual job, understanding the announcement.
So, the lesson is not learn more words, the lesson is stay calm so your brain has room to work.
That is the whole lesson, Mia. Calm is a listening skill. When you practice English, do not panic the second you miss a word. Just breathe. Keep your mental desk clear. A calm learner hears 10 times more than a panicked one ever will.
Okay, your train story honestly makes me feel so much better about mine because I did something very similar, but mine was all about how the words actually sounded.
Ooh, tell me everything, every detail.
So I was in a different country inside this enormous transit hub. You know, one of those giant stations with 20 platforms and 1,000 people moving in every direction. And I walked up to a worker and asked, very politely, "Where is the exit?" And he replied with something that sounded exactly like, "Go down and earn right." And I just stared at him. I genuinely had no idea those were even words in English.
Go down and then right. What on earth was that supposed to be?
It was go down and turn right, but he had swallowed half of the sounds. This is something researchers call phonetic shifts, which is just a fancy way of saying that the sounds of words change when people speak fast and casually. One big example is the glottal stop. That is when a speaker skips the T sound in the middle of a word and replaces it with a tiny little catch in the throat. So button becomes button and water becomes water.
Wait, really? So the word is technically still there, but the sound just vanishes.
Exactly. And the vowels get swallowed too. And shrinks down to just N. Turn becomes earn. In a textbook, every single letter is pronounced like a polite, well behaved guest. But in real life, words crash into each other like a big group of friends all hugging at once in a crowd.
So, how do you ever understand anybody? That sounds impossible.
Here is the amazing science. Your brain has a superpower called top down processing. It means your brain uses what it expects to hear to fill in the missing gaps automatically. Think of it like reading a text message with a few letters missing. If I write GODMRNG, you instantly read good morning, right? Your brain repairs it for you without any effort.
Oh, I do that all the time and never even notice.
We all do. But in a foreign language, your brain has not stored enough expectations yet, so it cannot repair the gaps the same way. And the fix is simply exposure. The more messy, fast, real English you hear, the more your brain learns which sounds usually disappear. So the lesson is this: do not just learn how words look on paper. Learn how they actually sound when they are squished together in real speech. Listen to real conversations, not only the clean, slow audio.
That is pure gold. Stop expecting the polite, separate guests. Expect the crowd of hugging friends.
Perfectly said. I am stealing that.
Okay. My next confession is honestly even worse than the train. This one is the famous 3-hour detour.
3 hours, Leo.
3 full hours. So I was trying to find this small museum. I asked a very kind old man for directions, and he gave me this long, beautiful, fast set of instructions. Something like, don't take the first bridge, take the second one, then go past the old bakery, but not toward the river. And in my head, I only really caught 3 words: bridge, bakery, and river.
So you filled in all the rest yourself.
I filled it in with total confidence and zero accuracy. I took the first bridge, I walked straight toward the river, and I completely ignored the word not. That tiny little word, not, was the single most important word in the whole sentence, and I missed it entirely.
But why do we always miss the small, important words like not or don't? They matter so much.
This is honestly my favorite part of the whole topic. It comes down to something called working memory. Your working memory is like a tiny shopping basket inside your mind. It can only hold about 4 to 7 items at one time. That's it. So when that man gave me 12 pieces of information very quickly, my little basket completely overflowed. My brain grabbed the loud, interesting words, bridge, bakery, river, and it dropped the small connecting words like not and second.
But the small words carry the whole meaning.
Often, yes, and here is the deeper trick. In every instruction, there are core instructional verbs, the action words: turn, take, avoid, don't. Those words tell you what to actually do. Researchers find that strong listeners stop trying to catch every single word, and instead they hunt for the verbs and the negatives. They ask 2 simple questions: what is the action, and is there a not attached to it?
So the lesson is do not try to carry the whole giant sentence in your little basket. Just grab the verbs and the nots.
Exactly. Listen for the action, listen for the no, and then confirm. That one habit alone would have saved me 3 hours and a very, very sore pair of feet.
Okay, sore feet, I feel that deeply. My next story is all about speed, pure, terrifying speed.
Speed.
So I booked a walking tour, and the local guide was the sweetest person I have ever met. But she spoke at what felt like 100 miles per hour. It was a complete waterfall of words. I kept trying to translate each word one by one in my head, and by the time I understood word number 1, she was already on word number 20. I honestly felt like I was drowning.
Oh, that drowning feeling is the absolute worst. Your brain is 2 whole sentences behind the entire time.
Exactly, and that was my big mistake, trying to hear every single syllable. The science fix is a technique called chunking. Instead of hearing 20 separate little words, your brain learns to hear small groups of words as one single piece. So, I would like to is not 4 words anymore. It is one chunk that simply means I want. And do you know where is one chunk that means I am asking for a place.
Oh, so it is just like reading. When you first learn, you read letter by letter so slowly, but now you read whole words, even whole phrases in one quick glance.
Yes, that is the perfect comparison. Fluent listening is just chunking, but with your ears instead of your eyes. And there is real brain science behind it. It's called predictive processing. Your brain starts to guess what is coming next based on patterns it has heard many times before. So when the guide said, on your left you will see, my brain finally learned to relax and just wait for the important thing, the name of the place, instead of panicking over every little you and will.
Wait, but here is my honest question. Doesn't your brain get really tired doing all that guessing and predicting? It sounds like a lot of extra work.
That is the magical part. At first, yes, it is exhausting, like lifting a heavy weight at the gym, but predicting actually saves your brain energy in the long run. Once your brain expects a pattern, It stops working so hard to process every single word. So a fluent listener is not working harder than you are. They're actually working much less because their brain already knows what is probably coming next. The effort goes down as the patterns build up.
So it gets easier the more you do it? That is so encouraging to hear.
So encouraging. Every messy conversation you survive is quietly teaching your brain new patterns for the next one.
So you stop chasing every word and you start catching the big idea instead.
Right, and the way you build this skill is to listen to slightly fast audio on purpose, a little bit faster than is comfortable. It feels hard at first, I promise, but your brain adapts surprisingly quickly. So the lesson is stop translating word by word. Listen in chunks, predict what is coming, and catch the meaning, not the syllables.
Stop swimming against the waterfall, just float on top of it.
I am putting that on a t-shirt.
All right, last story, and this one is very, very modern. This one is about slang and brand new travel tech.
Ooh, 2026 travel tech. Tell me everything.
So recently, I was checking into a place to stay, and the host said, very casually, just tap your face at the gate, the bot'll ping you your room, and the lift's round the back. And I just blinked at her. Tap your face? Ping? The lift's round the back? I was completely lost.
Okay, what did all of that actually mean?
So, tap your face meant use the face scanner instead of an old key card. The bot will ping you meant an automatic app would send a message to my phone. And the lifts round the back was just regional slang. Lift means elevator, and round the back means behind the building. None of that, not one word of it, was in my textbook.
This is so real, though. Language is changing faster than ever now, especially with all this new technology.
Exactly. And here is the psychology behind it. When you hear a word you do not know, like ping, there is a very strong temptation to stop and panic. But the moment you freeze on one unknown word, you instantly miss the next 10 words. Researchers describe this as a comprehension cascade. One missed word knocks down the next, like a long line of dominoes all falling over.
So one little word can break the whole sentence?
Only if you let it stop you. The real skill is to let the unknown word just float on by and grab the context all around it instead. Even though I did not know ping, I clearly heard your room right after it. So my brain could guess, okay, something about my room is going to come to my phone. Context is your safety net. The lesson is never freeze on one unknown word. Keep listening, catch the words around it, and let the context fill the gap for you.
And honestly, learning a little bit of modern slang and tech words on purpose really helps too, right?
Absolutely. Spend just 10 minutes learning some travel slang before a trip, and your ears will thank you later. Language lives out in the real world, not only on the textbook page.
Okay, Leo, my brain is full and my heart is happy. But our peak performers need a plan, so let's give them a clear, step-by-step system they can actually start using today.
Let's do it. 4 simple steps. Anyone listening can begin right now. Step 1. Train your ears with messy, real audio, not just perfect classroom recordings. Here's what to do. Every single day, listen to 10 minutes of natural English, a podcast, a real interview, or a video of someone just walking around a city. Why does this work? Because your brain learns the true sounds of fast, casual speech, the glottal stops, the swallowed vowels, and the chunks. A specific example. Instead of a slow grammar lesson, listen to 2 friends chatting about their weekend at a completely normal speed. And here's the common mistake you must avoid. Do not turn on the subtitles right away. If you read every word, your eyes do all the work, and your ears stay lazy and weak. Listen first, struggle a little bit, and only check the text afterward.
Step 2. Stop trying to catch every word. Instead, hunt for the verbs and the knots. When someone gives you information, train yourself to ask two quick questions. What is the action, and is there a no attached to it? For example, if a guide says one very long sentence, just listen for turn, take, avoid, don't. Why does this work? Because just like Leo said, your working memory is a tiny shopping basket, so you must fill it with only the most important items, which are the action words. A real example, don't go past the bank. The entire meaning lives inside don't and go. And the common mistake? People focus only on the nouns, bank, street, bridge, and they miss the tiny little don't that flips the whole meaning completely upside down.
Step 3. Use the 3-second pause technique before you act on anything. This one is so simple, but it is so powerful. After someone gives you a direction, do not move immediately. Just pause for 3 full seconds, and then repeat the key part back to them. So, the second bridge, not the first one, right? Why does this work? Because it gives your slower thinking brain a moment to catch up and process, and it lets the speaker correct your mistake before it becomes a 3-hour detour. A specific example, when you are checking a platform, just say, Platform 9, yes, and then watch their face carefully. The common mistake to avoid is nodding and smiling politely when you are actually completely lost. That polite little nod has ruined more trips than bad weather ever has. Confusion is not rude. Pretending to understand is the real danger.
Step 4. Practice chunking and protect your calm. Pick one short audio clip and listen to it again and again, 5, 6, even 7 times in a row. Each time, try to hear groups of words as one single piece instead of separate little words. Why does this work? Because repetition teaches your brain the common chunks, so the next time it predicts them automatically without any panic. A specific example? Take the phrase, do you want me to, and say it fast over and over until it becomes one smooth sound in your ears. And the most important part, stay calm while you practice. The common mistake is getting frustrated after just one try and quitting. Remember Leo's adrenaline lesson? A calm brain has a clear desk, and a clear desk hears absolutely everything. Be patient with yourself. Progress is quiet, but it is very, very real.
You know, Mia, if I had known these 4 steps 2 years ago, I definitely would have caught my train.
Oh, but then we would not have such a great story to teach everyone, right?
That is true. My pain is their gain.
Okay, and now for one of my absolute favorite parts of the whole show. It is time to level up our vocabulary. Our first word today is stranded. When you are stranded, it means you're stuck somewhere and you can't leave, usually because of a problem with transport. Leo, give us an example.
Sure. When I missed the very last train, I was stranded at the station all night with no possible way to get home.
And here is mine. The big storm canceled all of the flights, so hundreds of tired travelers were stranded at the airport.
Great word. Our second word is to decode. To decode something means to understand a message that is hidden or hard to read, like cracking a secret code. Mia, your turn.
It took me a whole minute to decode what the fast-speaking tour guide was actually trying to say.
And here is mine. Learning to decode rapid, casual speech is the real secret to understanding native speakers.
Love it. Word number 3 is chunking. Chunking is the skill of grouping small pieces of information into bigger single units, so they are much easier to remember and understand. Leo?
Instead of hearing 4 separate words, I used chunking to hear nice to meet you as one single smooth phrase.
And mine, chunking a long phone number into small groups makes it so much easier to remember.
Beautiful. Word number 4 is slurred. When speech is slurred, the words are not clear, they run together, and the sounds blend, so it is very hard to tell where one word ends and the next one begins. Mia.
His directions were so slurred and fast that I honestly only caught one or two words.
And mine. Late at night, tired announcers often have slurred speech that is really tough to understand.
And our final word for today is to navigate. To navigate means to find your way through a place or through a difficult situation. Leo, take us home.
I had to navigate a huge, confusing station with 20 completely different platforms.
And here is mine with a little twist. Learning to navigate fast, messy conversations in English takes practice, but you can absolutely do it.
So, peak performers, here is the big lesson of today. Real-world listening is not about being perfect, and it is not about catching every single word. It is about staying calm, listening for the action words, and trusting your brain to fill in the gaps. The messy, fast, chaotic world is the very best classroom you will ever have.
And please be gentle and patient with yourself. Every time you feel a little lost in a conversation, that is not failure. That is your brain stretching and growing stronger. The struggle is the workout. You are getting better every single day, even when it does not feel like it.
And tell us in the comments, what is the most confusing real-life listening moment you have ever had? A missed train, a wrong direction, or a word you just couldn't catch? We can't wait to read your comments and reply to you.
Subscribe, hit the bell, and start thinking deeper while you see higher. Keep learning, keep growing.
See you next week on Perspective Peak.
Perspective Peak. Leo and Mia, let's climb the peak. Real world listening, no more hide and seek. Step off the platform, out of the class. Textbook English, put it in the past. No perfect piano, no quiet room. Real life is noisy like a sonic boom. Real life is noisy like a sonic boom. Stranded at the station, train is gone. Adrenaline pumping, what went wrong? Platform 7, no platform 9. Lost the signal, lost the line. Don't panic, don't freeze, just clear the desk. A calm mind always performs the best. Yeah! It's a fast world, sounds get swallowed. Vowels disappear, hard to follow, but your brain's got power, top down flow. Predict the pattern, let the meaning grow. Find the signal in the noise, don't chase the words, keep your poise. Grab the action, grab the knot, navigate the chaos with all you got. Decode the message, let the context fail. Real world listen is the ultimate scale. Perspective Peak, we set the pace. This is real life, not a classroom space. 3-hour detour, feet are sore. Missed a tiny word, wanted more. Don't catch the nouns, they'll move the town. When speech gets slurred and words crash in, stop word by word, let chunk begin. Stop word by word, let chunking begin. I would like to is a single sound. Don't get lost, keep your feet on the ground. 3-second pause before you move. Confirm the action, find the groove. I would like to is a single sound. Don't get lost, keep your feet on the ground. 3-second pause before you move. Confirm the action, find the groove. It's a fast world, sounds get swallowed. Vowels disappear, hard to follow, but your brain's got power, top down. Predict the pattern, let the meaning grow. Find the signal in the noise, don't chase the words, keep your poise. Grab the action, grab the knot, navigate, just let the context fail. Real world listen is the ultimate scale. Perspective Peak. Perspective Peak.